Hello, Stock Planner here. I just can't stand staring at a screen or several screens all day long, 8 hours a day, in order to do day trading. I'm too old, too tired, and frankly, I don't buy into all that theory where you have to exactly when the stock moves in a certain direction or breaks out, or the RSI is at a certain number, you immediately get in. It's the exact right time, and you have to get out at the exact right time. It's just too stressful. I'm a swing trader, and I believe in longer term trades. And basically, I have another business. I won't call myself lazy, but my trading has to be easy and time efficient. I'm finding that selling puts on cheap stocks can be one of the laziest, most capital efficient strategies, especially if you're willing to own the shares because they're cheap, you can afford them, that you can do. Now, you still can use your RSI indicator. I do all the time. And the MACD. And you could, when it's oversold, sell a put. That's the greatest time to do it. But I'm doing it a few months out. So I don't have to look at the screen all day. I can do other things. And the three stocks I'm going to talk about today are Kraft Heinz, symbol KHC, SoFi, which everybody talks about, and SOUN, SOUND, ticker symbol SOUN. Now, Kraft Heinz is a boring defensive name. It's a blue chip stock. It pays a dividend, but I did not know that it is not profitable at the moment. Will soon be, but it's not at the moment. The rest of the two other stocks are profitable. SoFi is a growth and momentum stock. Lots of volatility, so it pays pretty good. And then SoundHound is a risky one. It's cheap, volatile, and speculative, but it has a good risk reward and it pays a good premium. So let's take a look at these three stocks: Kraft, SoFi, and SoundHound. Now, I'm a swing trader, as I told you, and I look for tops and bottoms and then that trend in between. I use the RSI, and when it's oversold, sometimes that you can look for reversals. These are kind of quick here because we're in a downtrend. But you can use the RSI, and you can use it the opposite way here, and then that's a nice downtrend there. The problem is you never know. It's tricky. That's why you need the longer time frames. And likewise, the MACD, you could have found the crossover there and had a nice downturn. And when the MAC lines, the EMA lines go above the zero line, that's probably an uptrend, and below is a downtrend. This stock, Kraft Heinz, is definitely in a downturn because it's not profitable. SoFi was another one we're going to talk about. We're not talking about it yet, but it seems to be in a range. And the RSI is currently below the 30. And some would say that that's a good time to sell a put. Now, we're looking at Kraft Heinz. And when you think of Kraft Heinz, a lot of people think of ketchup, but I think of pickles. And I think of stability. Kraft Heinz has been around for a while, and people need these products. The current price is $23.74, but the fair value should be around $69. So if this is true, things might get caught up, and that stock might go up because, if people start realizing the value should be a lot higher, the price should go up. So it's definitely an undervalued stock. Here's the thing. Kraft Heinz is not currently profitable. It has negative earnings and losses, and the losses have grown over the past few years. It might take a few years to get profitable again, but that's a concern, especially since we have a upward bias based on where Kraft Heinz is today. Revenue and volume has been shrinking, and that's because consumers are buying other products that are cheaper, and they're buying less. Does your family still eat pickles? I have a Chinese wife, and she loves pickles. And Kraft Heinz is facing some pressures on cost increases and inflation, and they had a lot of write-downs this past year, which might have caused the loss to appear higher than it really is. Now, one thing you can always check, and this is FinViz, you could check the PE, and if it's nothing there, that's a good indication that this stock is not profitable. I have missed it. I've traded it 4 or 5 times this year, selling puts, and have been profitable all along. Now, the indicator, this is a zigzag indicator. You can see it tracks perfectly the tops and bottoms of this stock. and here, right now, it doesn't know what it's doing. So, but it looks like that it's going up. Now that it tracks perfectly because it repaints itself. So you can't use this as an indicator to trade with, but you can use it as an indicator to set your other indicators. So, we have a top there, and here's your MACD, and here's your RSI. And so if you would have sold that stock based on those two indicators, you might have done well. The problem is you just never know how long a trend will last. And likewise, so you've seen here we had RSI below 30, which is a strong indicator that's going to go up. And each time it did, but didn't last. You have to be quick on those if you take the trades. And the MACD crossovers would have told you a nice downtrend as well, and it's showing a downtrend for the MACD. So you got to ask yourself as a trader: will this stock go up or down or sideways? Is this support and is this resistance? And are these minor resistances? I think the stock is going to go up, and you could sell a put right about. I'm thinking right about the money. But you certainly could sell put down here, but you just wouldn't get much for it because you're not getting much for this Kraft Heinz because it's not as volatile as the other two stocks that I'm recommending. You get a lot more premium. But I like trading Kraft Heinz because it's stable. Now you can buy some shares. That takes a lot of patience, and it does cost money if you buy 100 shares of Kraft Heinz. It's affordable for a small trader. You could buy a call or sell a put. If you buy a call, generally, you're going to have to pay around $200. If you sell a put, you get money in your pocket, but you need to have some cash on hold in case you have to buy the stock. Selling puts, you got to be willing to hold it. And Warren Buffett, that's what he's trying to do. He tries to get stocks at a cheap discount. No stress for Kraft Heinz. Next stock we're going to talk about is SoFi. Everybody's trading it. Has a lot of volatility. Very popular. Well, what is it? It's banking software, financial software, and it's government approved. It's got a great future if you're looking at the snowflake. And you want this to be filled up, but it pays no dividend. You can see that. And it's currently overvalued. That's not a good thing. It's not undervalued. It's overvalued. It does have a good, solid financial past, and it's healthy. Unlike Kraft Heinz. And if you do some further research, it says generally overvalued. We knew that by looking at the snowflake. It's trading above its fair value, so you have to be careful about selling puts on it. But there's a lot of analysts out there and companies that think SoFi is going to go much, much higher. Some have this price target as high as $33. It's currently trading around $22. And if you're conservative, you could say it's going to go $5 more up. What I like about this stock at the moment, it just took a nosedive Friday. We had an earnings report. Wasn't that bad. SoFi just took a hit. Might be a good time to sell put. That's easy to track as well. And it looks like SoFi has traded in this region a long, long time. A lot of candles in that region. So if you bought 100 shares of SoFi, you have to pay around $900. You buy a call, which I'm not recommending, about $200. And if you sell a put, you need to put on margin about $800 to $1,000. And this is about 3 months out. Shares are cheap right at the moment. It's a cheap stock, lazy and cheap. And I don't mind owning SoFi. So what's the trade? Well, I'm just looking, because we had that big hit, I'm saying you sell a put right about the money. You'll get $200, $300, almost $350 in your pocket. Now you need to have $500 or $600, $700 in margin, and the max loss is about $2,000. But that's if you have to buy the stock. You could make about $300 on this deal if at expiration, which is in June, about 5 months. And this is your win line right here: win and loss. And of course, if the stock goes up in the next few months, you can take an early win. So it only goes up around 3% by the 1st of March. In 1 month, you could be putting $100 in your pocket. You have to give back $200, but I don't mind giving back the money. I rarely hold to expiration. At the money, selling a put. Now, the last stock we're going to talk about is SoundHound. And what do? This is, by the way, this is speculative. They build software that can understand and communicate in a normal voice. And it's used in restaurants a lot for their automated cashiers. Very popular in restaurants. And they license it a lot, mostly to businesses. Wall Street says it's undervalued. And because this stock is speculative, you never know if it's going to grow or stay the same. It's a risky play. What's the chart look like? Oh, whoa. There's a crossover here at the MACD. It looks like it's trying to come up, but is that a support right there? And if that is some kind of, and I'm going to draw some kind of support in this area here, selling it at the money put 5 months out might make some sense if it goes up. Let's take a look at that trade. Boy, this is a cheap stock. Only trading and currently at $8.46, selling a $7 put, so that's $1.50 below what it's currently trading. And they're going to pay you in your pocket $150. Only need a small amount of margin, and the max loss is about $533. That is if you have to buy the stock. Now you want the stock to stay above 6,434. That's your break-even point. This is a low risk trade. If the stock goes up, if the stock goes down, you're going to own that. You're going to own it at $7. You're going to own it at $7. You're going to own it at $7. Now, that's, again, is the stock going to go up? Is there some kind of support at this level? That's the hard part of trading. I think it's a low risk trade. And last month, this was a hot stock to sell options on. So let's try to wrap this up. It's undervalued, but it's not profitable for Kraft Heinz. SoFi is overvalued, very popular. And you have to ask yourself as a swing trader, is it going up or going down? And the last stock we talked about was SoundHound, a financial software. It's definitely undervalued. That's what Warren Buffett likes, undervalued stocks. And I believe it's going up. So if you just have a little money today, if you have no money, paper trade these stocks and just see what happens. Paper trading actually for me, for a whole year while I was learning the stock market, and I still haven't learned it yet, by the way. But I used TradingView, and then I used Yahoo, created a little portfolio, see if it was going up, watched it each day, ran a business, got married, had some fun. But then because I'm a computer guy, that's how I make my real money. My degree's in computer science. I thought I could program a bot that would make me money, and I lost maybe $60,000, $70,000 out of my. Then I went back to the old school, take a little longer time, slow down, started making some videos. That helped me slow down too. It helps me slow down this weekend as I did my research for this stock. So if you're a cheapy guy, all three of these trades, you could have it for under $3,500. You could buy calls if you think they're going up, and that's what we're betting on here, all going up. Or you can sell a put. You need to have some margin. Calls cap risk because you pay up front. Selling puts pays you to wait and use time. Make your money on time decay. Depends on what strategy you use. I sell puts. It's my go-to strategy. I do other option strategies, of course. Credit spreads was my first favorite method, and I like iron condors, and I like broken wing butterflies and iron butterflies. I'm not a financial advisor. You pick the way you're going to trade. You pick the trades. You learn from them. You learn to win from life, but never take any advice from anybody online. They don't know any more than you do. Why I post my trades is because it helps me slow down, and because I put myself out there. My goal is to be consistent. I hope you're having fun. Friday was very, very interesting. We'll see what happens today, Monday. Happy trading. We'll catch you on the flip. Please like and subscribe this video and check out my Discord channel.